Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I had some thoughts on my mind today, some stuff that really got very serious to me. And I wanted to speak. And I thought about taking my time and try to do it probably a different approach. And so I decided to write this letter or this note or this post and give it to Congressman Raskin. Congressman Raskin. And just to be specific and not waste his time or the time that you might have in listening to it, I just made notes, okay? So I'm going to read the notes to you. Senator Raskin, Trump must go, including everyone he nominated for a position in government that was affirmed. He is evil. He's a liar, and everyone he supports is evil and a liar. His impeachments. He's evil, and that's why the senators would not diss him. With his impeachments, he's evil, and that's why the representatives would not diss him. He stacked the U.S. courts. He's stealing documents. There's nothing good about him as far as the U.S. government is concerned. His impeachments, he met standards for, but ousted in violation of the Constitution. He is in violation of the people of America, the good people. His disrespect for the rule of law, pardons for the crooks that attacked America January 6, 2020, his financial profiting from being president, his friendship with dictators and his disrespect for America's allies, his association with hurting the citizens while promoting the money barons, his tax plans, and what he's done with Elon Musk. Now, Biden would not be permitted to do it, and Obama, without a doubt, would have been killed. His inability to speak the truth, his racism, his hatred, and his bigotry, he represents stealing specifically the land of the natives, and he represents slavery of blacks. His plans to rob the people, is firing everyone that would not bend a knee to support and give their loyalty to him, and hiring only those that are committed to evil. Come on, playing with God. He's a threat to the world. He's a threat to the world. Excuse me. He and all of his kind must be released from government and power. And he must go to jail for his adjudicated evils. Now, Senator Raskin, we must stop talking. He must go now. He works for evil and the Lord of evils. And that God does not want him to do anything for America. He can't do no good. All America must rise up, and they must remove this monster from our government. It does not matter if he's voted in. We would not allow voting to take the natives' land. We would not allow voting to reinstate slavery. And voting is not going to force such an evil person to administer this government over us. Anyone in government that supports or bend a knee to Trump must go. Before we submit further to such evilness, we will submit to God's plan of harmony of peace and freedom, joy and happiness. You know, he used his campaign to deceive the voters, and he offered them much different. We must unite with everyone of this mindset and conscientiously dethrone this criminal thug. That's the way I feel. And I'm speaking for many, many people, though I haven't said a word to them or they said a word to me. But this is very important. I want to say something before you go. It's a little testimony, I guess. When I was growing up, I wanted to be famous. That was my key. The reason I wanted to be famous because famous people seem like they always have what they want. They have the clothes they want. They dress like they wanted, live like they wanted, the houses, the cars, and smiling faces and parties. And it was just, I got this. You know where I get that from as a youngster. That was advertisement. But I wanted it. And so that was my plan. I was going to go to Hollywood and I was going to be better than Sidney Poitier and I was going to be just as tough as Michael Jackson. But somewhere down that line, someone else had a dream for me. And that dream allowed me and permitted me or encouraged me or directed me and led me to do something else. But let me tell you how it hit me. I was trying to make a decision after I was being led to do something else. Do I go to Hollywood? And do I be on this stage or in this movie or would I choose a different stage? And what was that stage? That stage was the world. The world stage. Now I might be in many different pictures and stuff like that. Or in some kind of reach out. But if I was on the world stage, there would be just that stage. And the script, I get a chance to write it. Now, I made the decision to be on the world stage. And to me, the people, happy, thrilled, joyous, and living their dreams, best thing that I ever imagined. I never could see anything better than that. And so I didn't know how to do it. I reached out trying to write that story about how to achieve that. It took me a long time to actually see how to do it. I knew that it's real, but how do you make those steps? I mean, what steps do you really make? I didn't know. But let me set you up why that's important. Again, when I was younger, I had an uncle. My uncle, I think we were I was about 15, 16. He was about 14 or 15. And we used to sit in Mississippi in my great-grandmother, I believe, in her backyard under a plum tree. And on Saturdays, we go to school, and on times when we get a chance to go to the field, picking cotton or chopping cotton, we do that. But on Saturday evening, he and I, we get under that shade tree, and we would think, we would dream. But since we had a few dollars together, we'd go to the store, and we'd buy us a half a gallon ice cream, and a package of cookies, and some pre-sweetened Kool-Aid. And we come back, we make a pitcher of pre-sweetened Kool-Aid and put some ice in, make it cold, and right on. And we split those cookies up, and we cut that box of ice cream in half. And he would take, and I'd take, and we sit there and we would enjoy ourselves on this plum tree, dreaming. And that's where this dream about being famous originated. So thinking that Uncle Nathaniel Jackson. So when I'm making this decision, Hollywood and I made the decision for the world stage as I indicated. Now, what happened? And to make a long story short, the way the story is written, it was nothing easy. It was nothing simple like the prosperity preachers talk to you. No, it never was that way to me. I never saw God like that. I saw God as fantastic. I saw God as a parent, a mother, a father that you were appreciative of. They were just right. They loved you and you were able to influence them some, but they made sure that you got the right. Now that's where you see God. You see God. I mean, that's what I saw God. I've always seen God like that. And when I write the story, I have to deal with the reality of what was really out here. And that's just to see that everyone gets a chance to live, get the complaints out of life. But that message, I didn't think it was going to be this rough, that receptive. But it was real. So when I got rejected, it was cool. All I had to do was keep on because I'm doing what the Spirit is leading me to do. And if it leads me to jail, and it did many times, or if it leads me to prison, if it did many times. But each time I'm in jail or prison, I was there because, well, I did what was required to get there. But I chose to do whatever it is that I did because the people were that important to me. I just couldn't walk around in life looking at people who don't have education access. They didn't have the adequate health care. You know the story without me repeating. That just tore me up inside. When I saw people feeling bad, it tore me up. When I saw people happy, it made me feel fantastic. And so being committed to this, and look, I walked out on Ronald Reagan, pulled off a Navy uniform and said I would not take and follow any orders of a man that deals with the poor the way Ronald Reagan dealt with the poor. Now, I know a lot of folks love Ronald Reagan, and I appreciate that. You had your reasons. I had my reasons, and I wouldn't take orders. So I got out of the military. This is still writing the story. And I was in prison in one location till they kicked me out early because I had so much joy. I tell the people that's the joy that the Lord gives to you, and the world can't take it away. But what I really want you to know is this, is that when I look at Donald Trump, and I studied a little bit of history about other people and other dictators like you have, and I see the people choosing Donald Trump, who deceived them and lied to them and doing everything to destroy them and to destroy this nation. I think about, in this story, I did come. I fought it. I gave it all I had to come here and share with the people, whoever would listen, that there's a God. And my story, you can, listen to another video. They own all videos, but I don't want to put it here, taking enough time. So I can stand before the world. I do it every day. And I know how much you want to be free. I know how much you want to be free. You want to be as free as I want to be free. You want to live as much as I want to live. You want to be happy with your life. You want to be satisfied with your life. You want to be fulfilled with your life. You want the joy of your life, but most of all, you want to live your dreams. And every last one of us want to live our dreams. And Donald Trump lied. How many of you living your dream listening to Donald Trump? Or Joe Biden. How many were living your dream with Joe Biden? Or how many of you were living your dream with Barack Obama? Many of you were satisfied. Some situations were better than others, but when you get to it, was it your dream being fulfilled? Heck no. But I know you want it, and I know it's to be done. But you have to, in order for that to happen, you have to reset. You got to change your mind. Your mind is focused on what you've been indoctrinated with. This system, not even some other system. This system. So this will never produce a satisfied individual, a satisfied nation, a satisfied people. This will never do that. But the master, I have to tell you that you might not like it. So I can't say I'm smart enough to say this on my own. I can say a spirit within me is speaking through me, but it's all based upon my faith and a power that I can't see. But I see the evidence of that power all the time. I've even seen miracles in my own life that just solidified it, without doubt. And so I know that you can have your needs, your wants, and your desires met. You'll never get that from Donald Trump or no other president. You'll never have to suffer for the things of life that you as human beings have made, called the manifestation thereof, and they exist. You'll never have to suffer a lack of any of that if you want to, desire, or need it. And you can live a life of peace and be prosperous and free, joyous and happy, and live your dreams. I know that for an absolute fact. When you change your mind from other people, see, other people got other ideas, like Trump coming here with his fascism stuff or just hate stuff. That's just some other idea. Now he's trying to sell it and impose it on you, the people. Same thing in Russia, same thing in any parts of the world. And none of it is working. Some of it is much better than others, but none of it is really working. But you want it. I want it to work. I want it to work so bad. There's nothing more beautiful than to see America, black, white. I don't care if you were racist at one time, a hater, bigot, whatever you were. But now, right now, and that's what I speak about. That's what I advocate. I say I can't force this on you. All I can do is tell it. You have to want it. And you really, if you want to be one of those leaders, you got to have a pure heart. You got to be serious with that power. That power will take you all the way. All you got to do is do it. But for me, just bring it to you. If you reject it and choose Trump, you reject it and get Trump. If you have faith and choose God. now, when I say choose God, you know what? When I ask you and advocate focusing on that power that you can't see, to recognizing everything that you do see, and that power gets that honor, then you have to love other people just like you love yourself. Just like that wonderful life, just like you gotta love other people just like that. And that's an expression that you have a relationship with the invisible power that is responsible for the earth that you do see, but you can't see him. So what you have now is people who are approaching life different than they were before. See, before they were working for money to see how much money they could get to do this or do that. Everybody won't be happy. But the way they have you going at that money, you're struggling, you're going against each other, you're lying and cheating and stealing, trying to do whatever you can to get that money. So maybe you can get to do this. And you see people doing all kinds of things, all the ugly stuff in the world. You see people breaking these rules and I don't want to call the guys' names that's been public, but you know what I'm talking about. They do all that stuff trying to get that money. But this way, you don't have to do that. You have an opportunity to choose that career that gives you your greatest joy. Now, whatever you need to be that is available to you. If it's education, if whatever it is, to get you where you can be that, and you know what it is, then you choose it. And that's what you're doing in life. And it's nothing but pure joy. And all of the stuff that the people have imagined that they want, hey, it's created all around them. Why? For everybody to access it whenever they desire. And you don't have to. And what you're gonna do with money? You don't need any money because these things have changed. What you've made belong to you, the people. You are co-owners of everything that you have made. The power that is invisible provided the resources. You had the desire and you had the love and joy and motivation to go and create what you wanted. And now it exists. So who's going to tell you you can't? Nobody. Because you know you've been blessed. Now, to me, There is no better story. No better story. That's the story that I've written. I can't make you take it, but I brought it to the table. I put it before you. And for some strange reason, the indoctrination that we as people have received allowed the people to be more interested in Donald Trump than what I just shared with you. But anyway, that's my story. Now I want to tell you one more little thing. I know you just hang around with me for a little bit more now. Look, I know I look good tonight. I did this for some strange reason. I wanted to look. I might not look good to some of y'all, but it looked pretty good to me because I'm representing. I'm representing this wonderful suit that I have on right now. It's my father-in-law. My father-in-law named Clazel Gamble. He was a gospel singer. They called him the Candy Man. I think the Melody Kings is the group that he was with down in Greenwood, Mississippi, It'll Mississippi. But he passed away a few years back. And for some strange reason, we were at that time maybe the same size. And I got a chance. I liked the suit, and one of his grandkids wanted me to have it and gave it to me. And so I'm wearing that suit to honor him. To honor him. And when you ever recognize that the efforts that I have written about or lived about were okay, what I would like for you to do when I pass, like I said, I always wanted to be famous. I didn't go to the showboat route. I told the world. No. Somebody said, well, you successful? I just wrote the story. I lived it up to this point. But if I'm ever considered as being famous to you, to honor that, I would appreciate it. I would really appreciate it. You don't have, as an individual or if a group of you guys together or something like that, you get you some Kool-Aid, you get you some cookies and ice cream and do it in remembrance of the efforts that I wanted you to have. I want you, y'all might not know it. I might sound crazy, but I want you guys to be satisfied with this life. I really do. So having said that, I'm going to release you and ask you that you give this some thought, real thought, and then see if you change, if you want the kind of stuff that I've got to share with you. Now when Trump, that stuff, they say, it just flee, it just drop off. Like in the springtime, how the trees and the fall trees and the leaves all together so good. But then when fall comes, the leaves start doing those little things, they get a little beautiful. But then after a while, they just fall off. So what Donald Trump is about, any game that he's playing, doesn't make any difference. Any game that he's playing with other people of the world, all that kind of stuff, or they trying to reposition themselves because they're afraid of Donald Trump. All of that would just fall off. Donald Trump would have no significance. And all those lies and cheating and tricks he tried to play won't have any significance at all. And the people who lied with him, trying to take his side and represent something else, would have no significance at all. And we don't have to be angry. Why? Because we got the victory. We got the victory. And we know that these guys weren't born that way. We know they came in this world just like us. It just so happens that they got some different instruction. And the instruction that they got, this is the result of it. And they try to, hey, this is the result of it. But like any of us, whoever goes wrong, we like a real chance. And who's better to give you a real chance than the creation that made you? God. And if you say, hey, if nobody's going to listen to you, you might as well come on. Nobody's going to listen to you. You got to listen here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, it is your life. It can be a wonderful life. Thank you. Oh.